it's not the same America it was when I was a kid. Things have changed a lot.
Rob, you are helping the veterans here.
Yes.
You know the history of Veterans Row.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
So we had been raising concerns about homeless veterans on San Vicente Boulevard long before Veterans Row went into place with the large tents. In 2019, there was veterans out here sleeping all over the sidewalk. There was never any outreach or anyone really paying attention to them. I was actually inside the VA going through combat treatment myself, and I didn't like what I was seeing out here. I had went through it when I came here to get services as well. And so we were making complaints to the VA Inspector General office. There's like a White House hotline for the VA that you can call. Multiple different agencies. No one was doing anything. We started going to these federal advisory board meetings and bringing the veterans with us, just trying to figure out why people weren't answering the concerns of the homeless veterans. At that time, we met some people in the community and some Vietnam veterans that explained to us the history of this land fraud that's going on here. And I myself didn't really understand the relation between not taking care of the veterans and misappropriation of the land.
Yeah.
But
it's been
yes.
So. I have worked here as a case manager, and I used to bring veterans down here to the hospital, and we're talking 10 years ago.
Yes.
And there was always homeless vets out here. It almost looked like a science fiction movie. Like you would see that you go to a military hospital and there's all these injured outside.
Yes.
And it was very overwhelming that nothing was being done to help them. Yeah. And that seems to be continuing.
It is continuing. That's one of the biggest things. And it's like a horror movie inside. You see a lot of these buildings, they're just empty, they're dilapidated. There's been a lot of money that's been allocated to build veteran housing. There's been a lot of promises to build veteran housing. Los Angeles is still the nation's capital for veteran homelessness, and it's absolutely unacceptable. And what it all ties into here at the West LA VA is the VA is more concerned with their real estate business and leasing out the property, always making these promises that they're going to use the revenue from leases to go to build housing, but it never happens. And it's a lot of developers in the area and special interest groups that look over and they see all this land and the location and they see dollar signs. And it's just really unfortunate to see that we're sitting here, veterans are dying on the street, and we're fighting over people trying to get the land. We just want them inside.
So there's tents inside.
There's tents inside.
And I was told that was kind of a response to you guys being outside here?
Yes. So in February of 2020, we rented a school bus and we took all the, it was like 15, I believe at the time, 15 veterans. We went down to Judge Otero's office at LA City Court. He was the judge that presided over the Valentini v. Shinseki lawsuit when veterans sued the VA for misuse of land. We went there and we had sworn declarations that the VA was not doing anything to help homeless veterans, because at the conclusion of that lawsuit, there was a number one objective, and that was to end veteran homelessness by 2015 and beyond. And additionally, it was to create an exit strategy for these illegal leases and get veteran housing built. And it's 2021 and none of that's been done.
Yeah, when Obama took office, ending veterans homelessness became a priority.
Yes, and I believe in 2014, Mayor Garcetti pledged to First Lady Michelle Obama that he was going to end veteran homelessness.
Right.
So there's been a lot of lies, a lot of broken promises.
Well, the government says that they've ended veterans homeless. Well, there's even nonprofits that claim they've ended veterans homelessness in like 80 cities in the country, and bullshit.
Yeah, and you could easily do it here, and I mean, this just goes to show
it can be done.
Everybody here is connected with services. They meet with VA, doctors, outreach. I mean, everything. We bring everything out here for these guys. And, even for all the entities that come in to help, it's still a long process. Like, we have 11 veterans right now that are waiting to move into this Step Up on Second Western Housing. It's over in central LA. It's not the most ideal location, but it's newly renovated. And so 11 of these guys will be going there, and we kind of worked it out so they can move as a group. So they can keep their community. But that's been delayed with the housing authority for months. Yeah. Their paperwork's done, everything.
And you were telling me that there's been bureaucracy and all kinds of madness with COVID and congregate shelter. So tell me all that again.
Yes, so February went down to Judge Otero's. About a month and a half after that, we received a press release from the VA with a picture of all of us at the courthouse, and they said they were opening CTRS, the inside encampment. A couple veterans had a bunch of these tents ready to donate to the inside. However, the VA turned down those donations and instead gave the veterans small little pup tents, and we were having hard times with the disabled guys getting in there.
So wait, the homeless veterans were going to donate tents.
Another veteran that lives
another
in the
veteran
yes,
was going to donate tents.
Yes.
And they had problems with that and the government decided we're going to do these little pup tents.
Well, I can tell you exactly why they did that. So Brentwood School on the property is one of the illegal leases that's called out in the 2018 federal audit and also in the Valentini v. Shinseki lawsuit. So what the VA does to try to show that these leases can be on the property, they try to make it appear that they principally benefit veterans, which they don't. So they'll tend to take all the donations from these illegal leases instead of taking it from other veteran groups to try to show like that they're doing something for veterans. But the fact is, these people aren't veterans and the furthest thing from it. And it's like, this is the position we get into.
So help me understand this. The people governing this aren't veterans.
Well, the VA, the directors are veterans. The influence over the land is from people that are not veterans. It's special interest groups, the developers, yes.
Right.
Yes.
And so they're making money somehow on these leases, and it's not going to help veterans.
It's not going to help veterans at all. No, I mean, look at this place. It's ridiculous. It's like a ghost town inside, and it's a fight just to get people in. There is no like same day services. That rarely happens. It does happen sometimes, but right now the VA closed down the Homeless Veteran Welcome Center closed down their emergency shelter beds, so we can't even send anyone there any longer. And right now at CTRS, if we wanted to get someone inside the CTRS and they showed up, they would have to go to building 500 to go get a COVID test, and then they'd have to go to another building to get a referral to get in, and then they have to make it back over to the inside encampment before 2:30 p.m., which you hardly ever can, and then they're told they got to come back the next day, and then the VA police tell them they have to leave the property, so they end up out on the sidewalk with us. So it's there's some really simple fixes to this. There should be immediate same-day sheltering. A veteran shows up, he's a vet, just give him a place to stay until everything else gets worked out. But it's it's been a push and shove match the entire way.
Has it gotten any better? Because I've been upstate New York and taking care of my mom, and I've heard rumors that the Veteran Administration is trying to work on the bureaucracy.
I think this, we have a lot of engagement from the VA directors, management here, the employees. There's just it's like a stranglehold on the property from these special interest groups that want to get on here. We have so much support that we could just bring inside if we could get something working correctly inside the VA to stop this from happening, because it's going to take a little bit of time. You have to get things operating correctly inside so that this does not happen.
Yeah. So I'm not the smartest guy, and it's kind of trying to understand it.
Yeah.
So the VA is supportive. It's the special interest groups that control the leases on the buildings that are roadblocking everything.
Absolutely. So third-party interest on the property is why we're in this position.
Jesus.
It's very hard. Especially our elected officials, Congressman Ted Lieu, they're more interested in appeasing their wealthy donors, the illegal land users, the special interest groups, than they are working with the veterans. For instance, this has been going on for 15 months. We've met with everyone out here, Sheila Kuhl's office, Councilmember Bonin, Nathia Rahman was out here at one point, LAPD, the sheriffs, and discussed this whole situation. And we've been requesting Ted Lieu's office, his district. He's the one that's writing legislation that affects everyone here at the VA to come, and he does not come. No one answers or anything. The Veteran Service Organization leaders, they reach out to them as well. They don't answer. And Ted Lieu just recently passed HR 711, which is the West Los Angeles Improvement Act. Biden signed it into law, I believe, last week. But it's under the guise that they're going to do a lot of really great things for veterans. But if you don't know the history, you're not going to understand what's actually happening.
Right.
They're saying that they're going to take money from leases to build veteran housing. However, the leases they're talking about taking money from were adjudicated in federal court as unauthorized by law and therefore void, and were also called out in the 2018 OIG federal audit as being illegal or improper. So it's never like they're really trying to do something to get these guys, immediate shelter. They're talking about building housing over the next 10 years. And it's every time they get caught with these little land deals, they do a big PR stunt. Hey, we're going to do all these wonderful things. And then it gets tied up with, we're waiting for environmental impact reports or infrastructure upgrades. It's always something.
Oh, geez. Tell me who's here. I mean, it's at least 50 tents.
Yeah, so there's 45 veterans out here with their family members. Some of them have their family members with them. We get people into housing every week. Someone will get in. We've got people into hotel vouchers, different programs in the VA. But just as fast as we get them in, more show up. So it's a struggle. It's a struggle.
Well, one thing before I do that, we're getting close to an end here. I was overwhelmed. I've seen photos, but I was overwhelmed coming here. 4th of July. It was overwhelmed, but they're so very nice. Very welcoming. I mean, homeless people are nice. I walk into camps all the time. They're nice. Here, you guys were exceptionally welcoming. Doc, who we met, was a corpsman, and he was like, let me help you hand out socks. That's what I used to do. And it was just a feel-good moment, and seeing, people hang out, talking, but there's also some serious problems, mental illness and different things here. These people need help.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot. There's a full gamut of everything here, but they are all really good guys. I'm really proud of them. They do a really good job just keeping stuff clean, supporting one another, helping one another, working with the community as best they can. This is a difficult situation for everyone. And it just goes to show, they were trained before, they were in the military, they just need another chance. Everybody gets into a bad position sometimes, but we have to have the right system in place to actually get these guys taken care of. And it's just not happening today. And any person that raised their right hand to defend this country should be given that opportunity to be taken care of the right way.
How can somebody watching this video help?
It's a difficult question. I mean, spreading awareness about it. If anyone's in the area, I mean, you can always stop by. We can always use donations, trash bags, cleaning materials, brooms, dustpans, hand sanitizer, things like that, any camping essentials. We've had really no help from the city, county, or the federal government. Everything's been done on private donations, just from people that drive by that take the time to understand what's happening and see that there's an injustice happening here, and this is just, it's not right.
And I'll put a link below for advocacy that's state and federal level, but this is all the way. This is federal, state, and local. And people need to reach out to their politicians.
Absolutely. Definitely help.
Well, thank you very much for
Thank
talking
you.
to me.
Appreciate it.